Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibottoms coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Sideshow Collectible 6-scale Darth Maul from Star Wars. For the package, you can see a really cool image of Darth Maul here on the front. And as you can see, this is the Sideshow exclusive version, which we'll get into here in a little bit. The back of the package features another image of Darth Maul actually holding his lightsaber. And then the package opens up featuring another image of Darth Maul, as well as an open window that fully showcases the figure as well as all of his accessories. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Darth Maul opened up and out of his packaging, and a lot of Star Wars fans can all probably agree that Darth Maul was probably one of the biggest highlights of the prequel films. And this figure has had a lot of hype for it. A lot of people have really been looking forward to it and really been putting a lot of pressure kind of on Sideshow to deliver the goods. And honestly, I think this figure turned out really very nice. Now coming in to take a look at his accessories, in addition to two hands that are designed to actually hold his lightsaber, he comes with two relaxed hands. As you can see, you got this nice molded black plastic with some really nice detail actually on there. You can see some nice sculpting work throughout the entire piece. Very smooth looking, but you get some nice textures that are actually on there. You also get a pair of fisted hands in case he wants to punch somebody, which I don't know why a Sith would. I mean, obviously. And then you get a pair of gesturing hands, but what's cool about these is they are actually sculpted a little bit different. You can see that on the left hand here, these two back fingers are a little bit more curved in, whereas his right hand, only the pinky really is coming back, which is really nice. You can get some really cool, kind of wielding the Force sort of poses with these hands. And you also do get his lightsaber, obviously, and this is the lightsaber without the effects kind of put in there, and great, again, detail actually on here. You can see several buttons and a lot of really nice paint wash kind of thrown throughout the entire piece. Just overall, really very nice looking design that I feel that Sideshow captured really well. And then you do get two beams that can attach to it, and one thing that's really nice, I don't know how well that's going to come across on camera, but you can kind of see, at least in hand, that it is rippled, which gives it a very cool kind of energy sort of look. Again, you can kind of see it back here. I really dig that actual kind of attention to detail on there. And then you can see at the tip here, it comes to a really nice point. And then obviously all you do is just peg this in there and you can create his really iconic dual-edged lightsaber. And as you can see, it gets really very large. And then in addition to that full-on lightsaber, you also do get one that is cut in half. Now, I kind of wish that they gave us, the two halves. That would have been pretty cool. But unfortunately, you do just get this one. And he did use this while he was fighting Obi-Wan after, Obi-Wan slashed it in half. But again, real great detail here. You can see some nice burnt scorch marks kind of in there. I don't know how close I can actually get in. Let me, I'm going to push the limits of this new 4K camera to kind of see, yeah, you can actually get some really good detail in there. And you can see just how awesome that actually looks. You can see the inner workings of the lightsaber right there as it was cut in half. Real great detail throughout that entire piece. And then again, you look at the included light up effect and you can see that same kind of ripple effect going throughout the energy beam. I just really love that small attention to detail. Two really great pieces to include with this set. And then you do get the standard display stand. You do have the little pillar with the adjustable cradle right here. It's a little stiff there. And then on the underside, you got Star Wars. I do kind of wish that there was some kind of textural detail or something like that actually thrown on here just to make it less plain looking. But in terms of his accessories, that is everything that you get. And coming in to take a closer look at the figure, this is what everybody wants to know. How good does this portrait look? And honestly, I think it turned out really very good. Coming in as close as I can to kind of show you the details on his face. One part that people have kind of complained about is the actual eye coloring. I think it looks pretty good, but it definitely is different than what the prototype images actually had. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit. That's a little bit too much. Camera don't want to focus that close in, but the overall look is still really very cool. Those eyes have an intensity that I absolutely love. But I do have to say that it is different than how the actual prototype looked. And a lot of people really liked how that prototype was done. I don't necessarily think that this is a bad look at all, but it is a valid complaint if that's something that you're really looking forward to. Also coming up, I love the detail in his horns. I mean, you can see a great amount of paint and just variation in some of the color and everything. I think it's amazing. The paint on his face also does look really good. It has a very clean kind of look to it. Obviously, when you get in super close, it gets a little bit more distorted. But I think from a distance, I'm really impressed with it. I also really love the little scowl that he has on his face. Some people have kind of complained because they would have liked a second portrait with it with more of a kind of grimacing look. I wouldn't mind having it, but I'm perfectly happy with this. It kind of gives a very angry look, but still a bit of a calm kind of impression. Coming down and taking a look at his actual outfit, I'm actually really very happy with how this is fitted to his body. You got some really nice tailoring and actual stitching and things like that throughout the entire thing. He does have two different belts right here. I love how he actually has a little holster for his lightsaber. That's a real cool addition. And to utilize that, you just take this little knob that's right on the side right here, and then you kind of just wedge that in there. And oh, well, maybe if I can do it properly, let's see, there you go, and then you can rotate that around and get that position basically how you want it. So I think that's a real cool addition. It obviously is very accurate to the outfit, and I'm glad to see that they included it. You come down to the lower section, and one thing that's nice is all of these front pieces, this, and this, they all have let me see, are there any other ones? I don't think so. All these have wires that are in them, so you can kind of flex these out and get some really cool, you know, jumping and then landing with these kind of flaring out. I think that looks great. I love that addition. It really does help in terms of different dynamic poses that you can create with it. So I think that was a good use of wiring. And then great detail in the actual boots as well. Again, you can see some really nice kind of sculpt work and texturing throughout there, some straps that come across his boots. In general though, like I said, really very cool looking costume on it and fitted very nicely to his overall body. And then as a 1/6 scale figure, as you can see, he comes in a little less than 12 inches tall. First articulation, he's actually really very well articulated. The head here is on a ball joint. One thing that does get a little bit unfortunate, well, that popped off, is that when you rotate that around, you do kind of expose the crack here in his neck, but it's not too bad when you actually utilize the lower neck joint. You can get a nice range of motion with it without actually exposing that. So you can get some good poses. It looks left and right very nicely, up and down obviously. Like you could see, you do have that neck joint. He does have a shoulder kind of butterfly joint. He moves forward and back at the arm. He rotates nicely, rotates at the upper part of the bicep. It does feel like two joints, one, two, yeah, he does have two joints here at the elbow. The wrists do rotate and then they move forward and back on those little pins. At the waist, he does have a upper ab or diaphragm joint. He also does have a waist rotation, so you can get some nice pivots forward and back, side to side, also rotation. His hips do move forward and back really nicely. They move in and out obviously, but due to the way the pants are, it is a little bit more limited as the pants kind of restrict some of that. He rotates at the upper part of the thigh. He does have two joints here at the knee, but in doing two joints, you still only get about that range of motion. He does rotate at the boot. That is on a ball joint. One thing that's actually really cool, coming in here to take a closer look, you can see that the boot's actually done in two sections. You can see that the actual ankle does still flex and also can pivot in and out. Not much. You can see that's about straight, and then you can pivot it about that much. So you get a little range of motion, not a heck of a lot. But due to the way that the boot's done, you can see you got the, the top section of the boot, and then this part right here, which is attached to the actual foot. And then this is attached to that. So it's like, it's independent, but still attached. So you do still get a decent range of motion in the ankle. It's not a ton, honestly, but it is pretty cool that you can, flex that some, despite the fact that, a lot of figures would have just used one solid piece. I really like the two-piece scheme that they went with here. Now, like I said in the beginning, Darth Maul is a character that I really think amongst fans stands out as being one of the highlights of the prequels. So there was a lot of anticipation for this figure. And while the figure isn't perfect, I think that it is still a really cool piece. As you can see, it displays very nicely. Now, I do kind of wish that it did come with a few extra accessories, such as maybe an angry portrait. I would have liked the other half of that severed lightsaber, and maybe the cloak that he walked around wearing before he actually took it off to fight Obi-Wan would have been a cool addition, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I'm really very happy with how this figure turned out. I think Sideshow has done a terrific job. The portrait looks great, the tailoring is very well done, and all in all, just a terrific addition to a Star Wars collection. So if this is a figure that you guys would be interested in adding to your display, he is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the Sideshow 1/6 scale figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please like and share it. It goes a long way towards helping me out. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss a future review of mine. And as always, until next time, I'll talk to you later.